Okay, our next reading is about creating variables. So here I've got an example, and again, I'm going to copy and paste this text, and I'm going to go to our Prairie Learn environment where all the homework is. I can click on Lab 1, that's my Jupyter notebook. I have to scroll down and open that workspace, and then click Open Workspace. Sorry, it's a lot of steps. And I'm going to open a Python 3 workbook, and I'm going to close this, and I'll make the font a little bigger for us. Okay, so I'm going to paste in that code. Okay, make it a little smaller. And then I can see I don't have any red. This is kind of a dark brown, but it's not the sort of error red color that we get. And then I'm going to run this cell block. And what you can see is it prints out the value of X, which I set to 5, and it prints out the value of Y, which I set to John. One thing that's a little weird is that 5 and John look pretty different there where they're printed, but they actually look really similar there in our code. So Y is set to what's called a string, and X is set to an integer, or we call that an int. And actually, if I delete these print statements, I wouldn't, and then I run it, I can press that play button. I don't see anything printed. So it's because I've got those print statements that I'm going to see those printed. Okay, let's go back and see what the point was here. Okay, so we are creating a variable, and we don't have to declare. There's no command for declaring a variable. That's really a pointer for if you have learned other programming languages where you have to say in advance that something is of a particular type. You have to say, oh, this one's going to be an int, this one's going to be a string. All right, if I come back, let's take this next example. And so it's a little bit boring of code. So I set X to be 4. And then I set X to be Sally. So you can see here I've got some comments on the side. Those are things that follow that hash sign or the pound sign. I could add another print statement. So I could be like, oh, yo, print X. And I'm going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also say value to start. And so I'm just adding a little annotation. We'll see this later as we get more into print, but I've got a comma there to say, hey, print that thing and then that thing. Okay, and so 4 to start, and then later on when it prints X, it gets Sally. And so in some programming languages, this is pretty weird that a variable could hold both an integer and a string. CS105 is designed such that you don't need to have any other programming background. But for those of you who do, maybe this is a little confusing. Okay, next it's going to get to casting. So what casting is when we have a value of one type and we want a different type. I'm going to copy this example again. And now what I'm doing is I'm always passing in the int 3, and then I can turn it into a string, an integer, or a float. And so now if I print each of those, so if I print X, it's 3. If I print Y, it's 3. If I print Z, it's 3.0. Maybe the thing that's most confusing here is that when I print X, which is a string, and I print Y, which is an int, they look the same. So Python's not always going to give us a way to tell the difference between those two types. But if we look back here, the tutorial goes on to explain this function called type. So we've been calling a function called print, and here it's also going to let us call a function called type, and then we can print the result of that type. So I'll take this example back and we can look at it a little more. Okay, so here it's pretty weird, right? So there I've got X is an integer, Y is a string, and then let me just print the type of X. And so that's going to be, it says class. You can think about that a little bit as being type, and it's saying, oh, the type is an int. Whereas if I print the type of Y, then that's going to give me str or string. Even with this simple example, there's a lot to notice. So X is my variable, and it goes on the left-hand side of an equal sign. Equal signs are really different in programming than in math. In math, that would mean that X always was equal to 5. And so it would be totally ridiculous to say, oh, X is equal to 6. Like in math, this doesn't make any sense. But in programming, it just says, well, first it is equal to 5, and then it's equal to 6. Okay, so the variable on the left-hand side, the equal sign actually means it gets the value on the right-hand side. Another thing we can notice is the way we're using parentheses. So I've got parentheses around Y, and then I've got this thing, which is highlighted in green, and it says, hey, here's a function, the name is type, and I want you to call it with that argument. That whole type thing is going to give us something, and then we're going to call the function print, and then print whatever it gives us. Okay, next up is pointing out that we can use single or double quotes when we're creating strings. So here I just pasted that in, and you can see that if I mix and match, then I get an error. So I get what's called a syntax error, and here it says EOL. EOL stands for end of line, while scanning string literal. String literal is just what we call the things that are in quotes. Again, I can show the line numbers. And it says, oh, your error is on line 3. So these errors try and be really helpful. Obviously, this part is not very helpful. But once we scan past that, the rest is pretty helpful. You might have, if you weren't watching this video, you might have had to Google what EOL is. Okay, but the big picture here is we can use single or double quotes. Either of those is totally legal, but you can't mix and match. You think like, oh, if I have a start single quote, I need an end single quote. The last piece is that variable names are case sensitive. So what that means is like lowercase a and uppercase a are not the same. Let me copy that code. We can experiment with it. Whoops, I didn't copy the right code. Okay, so I can run that code. It runs, no problem. And now when I say print a, that should print 4. And if I say print capital A, that'll print Sally. Whereas if they both were a lowercase a and I run that one again, so again, I'm hitting Shift Enter, but you can also hit that play button. Now A would have been overwritten, so it would no longer be the value 4. We completely forget that value, and it would only be A.